So the talentless hack Jimmy Kimmel, ABC and Disney actually caved, and they're going to return his show back tomorrow, Tuesday night. And I just have one sincere question: what happened to all the fascism that I was promised? What happened to Trump, the dictator? It turns out that not only did the network cite very specifically that it had everything to do with his egregious lies, his egregious comments, but there was zero mention from the affiliates, from ABC, from Nexstar, from Sinclair, nobody, that it had anything to do with pressure, as the leftist lunatics, because they have nothing to go on, like to say, to get his show off the air. And then lastly, sincere question on this, then we're going to jump into so many good things. Sit back, relax. Your boy Nez has you covered. Sincere question. Roseanne Barr has had her show literally taken off the air for a harmless tweet for over 7 years. Jimmy Kimmel, who's going to be more popular than ever now, he's going to be the literal megaphone for the liberal arm. He was only taken off the air for 5 days. 5 days. So the left get canceled for less than a week, while the right literally gets pummeled and put in their own grave, forced to live underground. Is that fair to you? I don't think so. We have a very, very big show. I can't wait to get your comments on that. We have a very, very big show for you today. President Trump going after Pam Bondi, literally saying what we've all been thinking in our heads, and some of us maybe not so much outside our heads, for a lot. I can't wait to share with you what he said about her. Also, we have TPUSA, a head, one of the real top people at TPUSA, Charlie Kirk, asking Caroline Leavitt a brutal question about the murder of Charlie Kirk, and wait till you see what Caroline Leavitt said. Also, CNN, when your own network goes against you, you know you're in a lot of trouble. CNN's Dana Bash calling out Madam Ghetto, Jasmine Crockett, to her face about all the violent rhetoric that she's been spewing. Wait till you see her response. But first, this is some major breaking news. So there was a major alert today by President Trump, Secretary of Human Services, Health and Human Services, Robert Kennedy Jr., FDA Director, as well as Dr. Oz. They just dropped a bombshell citing that acetaminophen, which is commonly known as Tylenol, is due to major studies, is proven to have some kind of an impact on pregnant women giving birth to children with autism. What you see on the screen right here was posted by the White House. Autism rates, which is astronomical if you ask me. I even texted my wife as soon as the press conference aired today. If you just happen to be getting home from work, you might have missed it, which is why your boy Nez covers everything. I said, honey, did you ever take Tylenol when you were pregnant with the kids? We got 2 kids. And she said only a couple of times, but never a lot. Autism rates amongst children by age 8, prevalence of autism increased by nearly 400% in 22 years, from 1 in 150 to 1 in 31 from 2000 to 2022. That seems way high to me. So President Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who I trust, and this amazing Maha movement is actually helping save our American children. Watch this clip.
Tylenol during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
Just gonna go ahead and say it right now. Tylenol, not good. It's very bad stuff, right? Don't take it. That's why I watch Professor Nez. I always get the truth from Professor Nez. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. Here's Bobby Kennedy, too, calling out the radical leftists. Check out this great clip.
Our friends like to say that we should believe all women. Some of these same people have been silencing and demonizing these mothers for 3 decades because research on the potential link between autism and vaccines has been actively suppressed in the past. It will take time for an honest look at this topic by scientists. But I want to reassure the people in the autism community that we will be uncompromising and relentless in our search for answers.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, okay? So this is not professional advice. I don't have any kind of stake in this other than the fact that I care about our children. I care about, our health. I care about our government doing the right thing. But man, you look at those numbers and the increase over the last 20, 30 years. I mean, you can't ignore the fact that didn't just drop out of nowhere, right? Am I the only one who feels that way? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, this is absolutely huge. Check out President Trump going off on Attorney General Pam Bondi. President Trump posted this. I mean, this is huge, by the way, on Truth Social, saying, Pam, I've reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially, quote, same old story as last time, all talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia with 3 question marks? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done, end quote. Wow, this is huge. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why 2 of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that he had no case. No, I fired him. And there is a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President DJT Donald J. Trump. Holy mackerel. Whoa. So we've all been saying this. I even at one point got fed up and just said, look, I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt because, I used to work in the public sector as a professor, and Lord knows the red tape and the bureaucratic nightmarish hell of trying to get anything done in the public sector. I can't even imagine. It's got to be 6 million X worse at that high of a level, because it's bad when I was working at the university. But man, oh man, if President Trump is pushing on Pam Bondi and literally saying what you and I have been thinking and saying for God knows how long, Letitia James has mortgage fraud, Adam Schiff mortgage fraud. You've got all these ridiculous President Obama. You've got Tulsi Gabbard. This is over a month ago. Tulsi Gabbard issuing the intelligence report citing that President Obama was confirmed the architect of the Russiagate hoax, which consumed 10 years of the American public's life and impeded Trump's first term. And God knows so many other things. Letitia James. I mean, all of them. President Trump is saying, what's happening? Where's the action? By the way, remember, Pam Bondi was not President Trump's first choice. President Trump's first choice was Matt Gaetz. And for some reason, I mean, they found something on Matt. I don't know what. That guy has been buried under a hole. He gave up his seat in Congress. He was going to go podcast or something, or host a show that nobody watches. At least I don't know anybody who watches Matt Gaetz' show. He was a vocal, powerful voice in this kind of America First Trump movement. And now he's just kind of gone. They must have found something big on him. But quick question, do you think Matt Gaetz would have taken this long to prosecute some of these Dem criminals? I don't know. If it were me, you ask me, I would say definitely not. I thought that Pam Bondi, Cash, and Dan, they could have done a lot better with the Epstein files. Remember, there was that rift between Dan and Pam. He apparently got really upset, raised his voice, started yelling. That was a couple months ago, if not more recent. But holy mackerel, President Trump going after Pam like this is huge. He did later say in another post, just to be fair, he did say Pam is doing a great job, but he just wants to see more. I feel like somebody probably told him, like, dude, there was word that the Justice Department was completely thrown off their rocker when he issued that statement. But I mean, he's saying what we all feel. And you know what? It's been a long time. I mean, at least bring up some charges, something. I mean, a minor kind of put them in front of Congress or put them in front of a judge. I mean, something. Am I the only one who feels that way? Are we kind of past that? Are we just kind of, surrendering and submitting ourselves to the fact that it may not ever happen? What do you guys think? I can't wait to hear it. Let me know in the comments. Okay, next, I want to share this. This is Turning Point USA's White House correspondent who asks Caroline Leavitt what steps the administration is taking to hold perpetrators of political violence accountable. And wait till you see what Caroline Leavitt says in response. Watch.
On the horrific murder of Charlie Kirk, government and local officials said that Antifa inscriptions were engraved in these bullet casings that killed Charlie Kirk. It appears to be a trend, especially after what we saw in the Annunciation Church shooting, Catholic Church shooting. Additionally, Stephen Miller recently commented on the rise in this kind of violence, saying there is a domestic terrorist movement growing in this country. The president is designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. I'm wondering, what is the approach to holding these people accountable, just to ensure that violence like this just is eradicated moving forward?
Sure. Well, Antifa is going to be designated a domestic terrorist organization. The president intends to sign that executive order very soon as it's drafted, as soon as today, later this afternoon.
Wow. I don't know if you guys understand the severity of what Caroline Leavitt just said, and rightly so. Antifa has been the #1 domestic terrorist organization. They're in cahoots with BLM. They are the ones who cause all the riots, cause tons of damage. Los Angeles is a perfect example. Pretty much anywhere where there's chaos, mayhem, anarchy, anti-American values, anti-American principles, non-peaceful protests, violent protests, if you ask me, you can pretty much count on Antifa being there. Also, there's some sort of connection to all this kind of underground, deep, dark web that this Tyler Robinson guy who shot Charlie Kirk was affiliated with, this transgender kind of a group, which is also a part of, or loosely connected, if not deeply connected, to Antifa. Wow. I think this is a huge move, because if you get designated a terrorist organization, that means you can get charged. Not only does it strike fear, as it should, it acts as a kind of a deterrent, but it strikes fear in the very heart of anybody associated with that, as you can get charged with capital crimes to the fullest extent and rigor of the law. God bless you, Caroline Leavitt. God bless you, President Trump. This was much needed, long overdue. And of course, Kamala, the border czar, and Biden, the vegetable in chief, they did nothing about this. As a matter of fact, they probably encouraged it, backed by billionaires like Holly Weirdos, Clooney, Soros, and the rest of it. This is a great day for America and Charlie Kirk. Okay, next up, I can't wait to get your comments on Antifa. Watch this clip as the least qualified, sickest, repulsive, parasitic-brained, low IQ individual to ever hold a public office. Madam Ghetto Crockett gets called out to her face for the violent rhetoric that she spews every day by Dana Bash, and then watch her abysmal response. But I love her face when Dana, for the first time I've ever seen an allied network, pretty much, a radical left network like CNN, has ever called out somebody this repugnant like Madam Ghetto.
Let me ask you, because I do want to play a couple of statements that you made earlier this year. Okay.
Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. They want to show that they are loyal to this, I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
And to be clear, the president has attacked, other people have attacked you in his orbit, maybe not him personally. But do you have a responsibility as an elected official not to raise the temperature, but rather lower the temperature, particularly when there are people out there who listen to elected officials all over the place who are not well, who use that as a way to instigate the political violence that you are calling out?
I think that my responsibility is to be transparent and to be honest. And the reality is that we are living in a time in which this administration and this regime is not interested in making sure that people understand history. We need to understand why they are so problematic. And so I am using that language because it is accurate language. When we see the consolidation of power, when we see them trying to chill speech of jokesters, when we're seeing all of this, that is a playbook out of Hitler, and I won't deny it.
Did you expect anything less? Did you expect anything less, America? The world? She gets called out to her face. the ink on Charlie Kirk's death certificate isn't even dry yet. The worst political assassination we've had since John F. Kennedy. And not only does she not apologize, not only does she have zero ability to look inward, a little introspective critical thinking. Hey, maybe, you know what, maybe I'm a little bit a part of this. Or let's just say, you know what, they're all attacking me, everybody's attacking me, but you know what, that doesn't matter because great leaders don't blame everybody else and don't mimic and copy others just because they're doing it. They actually rise above and say, you know what, I know, like Fetterman, you know, whatever you want to say about Fetterman, I got to give him kudos. Maybe he's playing a little kind of 4D chess. I don't know, but I give him a little scotch of credit that he's at least standing up and saying, man, just stop all this nonsense. But there's zero. Not only does she not do that during one of the most horrific moments in American history, and there's countless examples that the radical left have engaged in violence time and time again, she doubles down and says Hitler again. You want us to unify with these people? These are the kind of people that we can unite with? And by the way, I'm a very optimistic dude, very forgiving dude. I'm a sweetheart, as I like to say all the time. But, you F with me, my family, my country, my God, and I'm going to rip your head off. That's just who I am. But I'm a sweetheart if you're respectable, decent, honest. She says, I'm trying to be You're not. You haven't said an honest thing. You're a sewage spewer. That's all that comes out of there. I don't know where we go from here, folks. I just don't know where we go from here. Even being called out to her face, she doesn't have even the slightest molecule of decency to be like, you know what? Maybe I should just chill out. Nope. She ramps it up even more. He's Hitler. I can't wait to get your thoughts on all this. I know I'm getting emotional and getting a little bit too worked up. It just drives me crazy. I'm sorry. Let me know where you're joining me from too. What city, what state, what country. I love that. I love hearing from you guys. We got people from Belarus, from South Africa, from New Zealand, Australia, UK, everywhere, from all over the nation, Alaska, Texas, Florida. Let me know. North Carolina. I love hearing where you're joining me from. Just let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you. And may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.